Okay, this time let us add some basic lights to our scene. So here's this like sort of interior light that I've just modeled, nothing fancy. But we're going to add it to a blueprint that when we enter our pyramid, it'll turn on and emit some light. And then when we leave, it'll turn off. Just practice a bit of basic blueprint functionality. Should be a really straightforward one, hopefully this one. So all I'm doing is I'm right clicking and I'm creating a new blueprint character, which I'm calling Mine Light. And like I said, simple system, but it should be something that we could repeat and use on lots of other things. Now I got my scale wrong when I was modeling this, so I just need to make it like that big. So I can test this out by going to my blueprints, dragging one onto the wall. There we go, that'll do. Nice, sort of straightforward there, but I will need to actually add a light to this. So we've got a couple of different kinds of lights. We've got like a point light, which might be quite nice, or maybe like a target light, spotlight even, sorry. Maybe we could even do both. Let's just do a point light for now. I think given sort of the type of this light, I don't like how it's sort of casting those rings out. So I might actually sort of put it about here like that. Like visually that looks alright. We've not sort of got too much gross shadow with it. Sort of like how it was casting those rings out before. And it's illuminating our scene quite nicely. But I will increase the radius a little bit. So we'll try and get this wall over here. And let's actually change the colour so it feels a little bit more interesting. Cool, okay, there we go. Nice sort of basic light setup, but now for the blueprint. So all we're going to do is on this, we're just going to create a box collision. Now we could do this on enter box collision or sort of exit box collision, but let's sort of just scale this up a bunch, maybe thin it out a little bit. So I'm going to show you sort of the two-way system with an exit and entry rather than using just one, which I'm going to rename to enter box, and we'll duplicate it and call it exit box. And let's move you like over here, like that. So with these selected, we're just going to go to begin overlap, and we'll do the same thing on begin exit overlap. We need to actually find out what our play is called. So I'm just going to press play F8, click it. It's called BP Kart Pawn Player. So off the other actor, we're just going to type in BP Kart Pawn Player. And we'll duplicate that with the old Control W. Wire. So when it enters, so by default, let's actually sort of say that this has actually got no light. So intensity of 0. And then when it enters, make sure you're parented to that. We're probably not going to move that, but there we go. Set intensity. Interesting. What was it, about 5,000? I mean, again, you can sort of put whatever number you want to, but let's just go for the old 5,000. And let's duplicate it and set it back to 0. So when we enter the cave, it'll turn on, almost like it's a motion sensor. Don't forget to wire it up if you press compile. Cool. Alright. Looking good. So now we've got this blueprint and our level. What we can actually do is we can go in, we can select it like this, And what I'm going to do is on this details panel in the right hand side, I'm actually just going to get my entry box and move it to the right place. We can even sort of scale it and set it to be sort of the size that we actually need it to be, I want it to be. So like I say, we can actually move this dynamically around in our level. And let's do the same for our exit box. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's such a powerful but simple blueprint that really you can, you'll use that kind of system for everything. Alright, let's quickly give it a test. Shortcut. Okay, looking inside the cave, there shouldn't really be any light until we go in. Boop, lights on. It looked alright, however, this didn't really glow up red. I'd have liked that to visually glow red. Why didn't you glow red? Set you back to 5,000 and have a look. I guess it did, but maybe it would be nicer if it was more so. Like it was a little bit more red. At the moment, my material in it is opaque, so it's a little bit translucent even. So I wonder if I change it to like more of an opaque and give it a little roughness, if that'll actually look better. Let's make it quite metallic too. So it's almost like a mirror, see if that gives it a better effect. Well, I'm going to probably just tweak this, refine this, just so that I can get that material looking quite nice. But that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it on that one, so good stuff. So instead of actually just changing the light material, well, I'm actually just changing the light material inside the code to just an emissive one instead. There you go.